So what is the derivatives of these functions? Well, to differentiate this, since we know implicit differentiation, what we can do is then just say, well, if we want this function here, what we can do is rewrite it in terms of sine, because we know how to differentiate sine. So there is, we've just taken this function, we want the derivative of this, and we just rewrote it with sine. And we can differentiate this implicitly. So we end up with derivative of x is 1, the derivative of sine is cosine, and since it is an embedded function, we do y prime. And really what we want is y prime. Okay, that's what we really want. So we're going to solve for the y prime, or the dy by dx, and we get this. Y prime equals 1 over cosine y. Okay, well, problem is we don't really want y's in here. We want x's in here. So first of all, we're going to start by replacing the cos y with this expression here. So we know that cos squared plus sine squared equals 1. So we're going to rearrange that and solve for cos y. So we're going to rearrange this expression, and we end up with 1 over square root 1 minus sine squared y. Now, why would we do this? Well, if we do this, notice that we actually have sine y defined. Right? And in fact, we have it defined with x's. In fact, sine y is x. So what we can do then is we can replace the sine y with the x. So I end up having a derivative that looks like this. Y prime is equal to 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared. So there it is. There's my derivative of arc sine, okay, which means then that the integral of 1 over square root 1 minus x squared, that's going to be equal to the arc sine of x plus c. And I'm not going to prove this, but this is something that now becomes part of your formula sheet, something that is now a defined integral. We should also integrate, I'm just going to give you this, I'm not going to show you how this one works, but we may do in a later lesson, but this one we can generalize a squared minus x squared. It generalizes to this antiderivative. So these are two that you should add to your formula sheet.